Hello, everybody. This is Evelyn of Evelyn's Creations. Thank you for tuning in tonight. This is the eve of Juneteenth celebration. I'm so excited. I'm so excited, everybody. You know how to get it together once I get on. But anyway, I want you to know I'm excited for so many reasons tonight. I'm excited about the game in New York. I'm excited about um, the parade after the game, which was today. I'm excited about Obama's museum that opened today. I'm excited about Juneteenth. That's tomorrow. I'm just excited, excited, excited. So, if this is your first night tonight, it is the title tonight. I want you to write it down. It says, Do not fear what you dream. Do not fear what you dream. That's the title for tonight. And we're going to get into it. What does it mean to not to fear what you dream? You know, sometimes you feel like you can never make it. Sometimes you feel like, uh, is my bank account going to be overdrawn? And how you going to get out of that? And if you ever had a bank account to be overdrawn, you know what that means. That means that you have to pay the bank a fee. You have to pay whoever you wrote the check to, and it just makes your heart just cringe. So you feel like, how am I going to make it? And then you start dreaming. One day it's going to get better. One day I'm going to do this. One day I'm going to do that. And when you start speaking it, it comes into existence. And then you start thinking, oh, that can't happen to me. You start thinking that that's a dream and it's only a dream. So when you come back and look at this video, I would advise you to watch it twice. I tell everybody, watch my videos twice because you're going to find something that you didn't find before. Okay. And when you come back to this video, you're going to see me having a dream. When I put the picture for this video, you're going to see me having a dream. And as you look at all the 600, 700, 800 videos I've done, you can see that I have made that dream come true. Okay? So, I'm talking about people who are really struggling right now and they are having overdrafts. And I didn't have this on my mind, but I saw it today. I saw it today with somebody. I saw it today with a member. I saw it with someone showing me something and they showed me that they were overdrawn. Okay. Every overdraw that you make, learn from it. Nobody wants to be overdrawn. Nobody wants to come short. Now, how do you prevent to be overdrawn in your bank account? That's your first dream is I want to be debt free so I ain't worried about my bank account. Okay. Now you can be overdrawn for several reasons. You can be overdrawn because someone made an automatic payment and they just kept it going. It could be a million reasons why you could be overdrawn, right? Okay, so before I can get you to dreaming, I want you to get realistic. If you having some problems with your bank statement or your banking, they now have it where they give you alerts every day on your bank account. Everything is so digital right now that it's easy for someone to overdraw on their bank account if you're not being alert. I would suggest every day before 8 o'clock, let's say 7:30. Before 7:30, check your bank account. Always have a second account that you can transfer funds to keep you from being overdrawn. Okay, so if you have a bank account with the bank, have two accounts with that bank, whether it's a checking or a savings, or if you got a personal account. We want to make sure. In other words, how are you going to support me if I can't show you how to support me? How are you going to support yourself if nobody stops for a minute and help yourself? Because today with so much technology, let me make sure I plug up. It's giving me alerts. Okay, today with so much technology, we can avoid some overdrafts. especially minor overdrafts, small overdrafts. If you're overdrafting $100 or less, that's a small overdraft. That's something that you can take care of. That's basically something that you can borrow and put in there until things get better till you sell something. So if this is your first time on the channel says, don't be afraid or don't fear what you dream. If you're just coming on, I'm talking about overdrafts in your bank account and how to eliminate overdrafts. The first thing that you want to do is have a second account, which is a savings account, a personal account, a as well as your checking account. Now, how do you do this? What you do, you check your bank account every day. Every day, check your bank account just like you check your messages. I know some of you say, I got so much money, I don't need to check my bank account. Well, guess what? You may have bought a subscription in Nigeria and they wipe you out. Okay, you got $50,000 in your checking account. They may not have took all your money, but they took everything out of there. If you bought something from those overseas account, you can't get that money back unless they give it back to you. Okay, because America don't deal with overseas accounts like they do regular accounts. So check your bank account just like you check your messages. When you check your bank account, if you see that you have a negative balance, then do what you can to transfer it, or you call your bank and say, listen, my mortgage is coming through, I don't have enough money, could you clear that account? Could you clear that for me? And then they'll say, yes, we will clear that for you. And they'll ask you, when do you think you can have the money? I have the money in 2 or 3 days. Okay. Now they will clear that for you, but they won't clear all those little things that's going to come after that. But that's one you want to make sure you got shelter. Or you can say, let it go and clear all the rest of them. But what they're going to do is the bank will work with you. If you're with a bank and you ask them, I got some things going through, I need to get this done. And the bank will do it. And they may tell you they have overdraft. They may have to charge you overdraft for those, or they may say, we might can give you 2 free and the rest we have to charge for it. Depending on how severe it is, you figure out, you weigh the difference. Do you want that customer or that relationship to be bad, or are you gonna just say, hey, that came through, I'm gonna send you the money, blah blah blah? However you work it out, work it out. What I'm trying to teach you tonight, what I am teaching you tonight, is how to avoid it. Now, you're doing fine, you got your money in the bank, you don't have no problem, right? Well, this is how the banking system works. I work for Disney in banking for many, many years, and I go to the bank often to make deposits and make my relationship, right? So if you have a bank account, what you want to do when you have a bank account, you want to know when is the close of the day. The close of the day is not 5 o'clock for a bank. For example, if you have a Chase bank account, JP Morgan Chase, the close of the day with JP Morgan Chase is 11 p.m. Eastern time. If you're on the east side of the United States, that's Eastern time. So if you transfer or you go put money into the bank up until 10:59 p.m., the deposits will go in before the the credits. Your deposits, anything that you debit, anything that you put in will go in. Debit is extracting, credit is plus. You're getting a credit for that money. Okay. So if you go to the bank and you have a JP Morgan Chase Bank and you get it in there before 11 o'clock Eastern time, then they will put your deposit in before your payments come out. Excuse me. If you have a bank account with Regions, the cutoff time is 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So what I'm showing you is just because it's 5 o'clock, that doesn't mean that you can't go and change some things around to make sure your account clears, right? So I'm telling you tonight how to make sure you can avoid overdrafts with your bank account. Say if you get off at 5 o'clock and you check your bank account and the bank account shows that you're going to be in the red tomorrow. Okay, you're in the red for right now. But if you have to change your things around, if you can get to the bank, ATM bank, the ATM, for those who are overseas, ATM means like it's a little machine that you can go put the money in and it gives you credit right there, you know. So I got a lot of people watching overseas. So ATM means a deposit into the bank when the bank is closed, but it's still a transaction. So in America, if you go to the bank before the end of the business day for the bank, not the business day of the business hours, you have time to put the money in, transfer money from different accounts, and get that bank. I always say have more than one bank account and have more than one account in each bank because things will come up, you will need things, and they will help you out. So I want to say that because I want to make sure. Now the reason that I'm saying that is because when you are on this channel, the purpose for this channel is for you to grow. Okay? And if you grow on this channel and you have $100 problem, you don't have a problem. Listen to me real close. If you are on this channel and you're watching me, now the cost to be on this channel to see me, if you want to help me, is the minimum price is $3.99. I'm gonna call off all the members who's making this happen, who keep me burning and saying, give me something else. It costs us $3.99. But let's get serious. The reason I say that, if you have $100 problem, let's start with $100 because $100 is passive. $100 is a passive amount of money that can easily be spent anywhere at any time. If you buying movie tickets, if you buying lunch, if you're buying groceries, if you're paying a bill, it could be an easily disposable amount of money, right? So if you're on this channel, that means you know you have a gift. That means that you know you can make $100 like that. And if you don't, I'm gonna tell you right now how to make $100 like that. Ask for it. Make up something. Hey, I got something. Would you like to buy this? Hey, I got something. Would you like to buy this? Hey, I just made something. Would you like to buy this? All you need is 2 or 3 yeses or 1 yes, and you may get 8 or 10 no's. But you can bring it to life like that. You can bring it to life like that. I don't think $100 is a hard time to get $100. Don't let I mean, when you have a small problem, it's only small, right? So if you're on this channel, you should be making money daily by now. If you've been watching me all this time, you should be making money daily. You cannot be watching me and not making money daily. So no more overdrafts. Look at your bank account. See what the issue is. Make something, sell something. You have not because you ask not. Stop waiting on that job to pay all your bills. It'll never happen. Why won't it happen, Evelyn? Because the job was never made for you to survive in comfort. Listen to me. We at church right now. We at church, y'all. Your job that you have, I don't care how much money you make, if you got a job and you have to wait till Friday, Saturday, the second part of the week, the second part of the month, the end of the week, the end of the month, the end of this pay period, the end of the job, you got to just say, that's my security income. But your regular money gonna come from your lips, your hands, your feet. Okay? So when you are in a financial strain, guess what? Guess who fault it is? Guess who fault it is now? It's yours. Because you're not using your ability. Everybody was given something. You know, a squirrel gotta go find a nut, right? A roach gotta go find a crumb. Nothing lives without food. Everything is made for us to regenerate and rejuvenate and make each other happy and support each other. So what I'm saying is stop being broke. Don't be in fear of your dreams. Stop worrying about tomorrow. Like Miss Ellen said, I don't fear nothing. I don't worry about nothing. Stop worrying about tomorrow and get to work. Have more than enough. Look, I want you to do this week. I want you to sell something tomorrow. Everybody, sell something tomorrow. I don't care if it's advice. If you keep somebody from jumping out the bridge, say, okay, All right, I'll take $10 for that. Guess what? A psychiatrist costs money. If they taking your time, they taking money from you. If you saving them, come in here, baby. Come and cut this fabric out for me. Come clean my floor for me. Okay? Because that saves you time. That saves you time. When that saves you time, you can go make something. So we can't just be on the channel worrying about bills anymore. Stop worrying about bills. They're gonna be there. Bills is the one that stick you in the butt and say, "Ooh, I gotta go do something. Ooh, ooh, I don't like that pain, right?" So get rid of the pain because it's only money. It's only money. If you need money, just do something. Look, they see this piece of paper? Somebody took this paper and they rolled it up and they said, you know what? Those plastic straws is messing up our ecosystem. Because every time we use a straw, it goes into the garbage. It doesn't dissolve properly. It goes into the landfill and it messes up our ecosystem. So somebody took a piece of paper and they made a straw. I'm just saying, money is everywhere. It's everywhere. Somebody took a piece of paper and made a straw. Now you know what? It don't taste as good out of a straw, but it's still wet, right? It's sacrifices we make for the next generation. So some presidents want to kill the straw. Some presidents don't want to kill the straw. Kamala Harris said if she was going to be the president, she would get rid of the straw because she saw what it was doing to the environment. So what I want to do before I ask you to be a member and subscribe, I want to show you how to make money. How to make money is ask for it. Give an exchange for it. Say, I made these cookies. Would you like to buy some cookies? I made this pudding. I like you like, look, Father's Day gonna be on. People looking for things to buy, and they are wanting to put out Father's Day gifts. I'm gonna tell you something else that's gonna hurt some feelings right now. Okay, we got really busy this week. I mean, we were busy. I'm busy. I'm making stuff for people to go to Juneteenth in Chicago. I'm making stuff for people in city doing Juneteenth. I'm making stuff for people who's going to New York for the parade. I mean, I'm just like busy, 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 right? I'm like, what's going on? The reason I was busy is because Donald Trump, that's right, the president of the United States, they stopped DEI, diversity, inclusion. Okay? That means you don't have to promote certain things because it looks proper to do that. You don't have to hire certain races because we want to be diversified. Okay, so what that's going to do is it's going to make a lot of races stick to their race. So if you're Spanish, you're going to stick to Spanish people because you speak Spanish. If you're Chinese, you're going to stick to Chinese people because you speak Chinese. It's easier to communicate. If you white, you're going to stick with white because you can talk a certain way and you don't have to know how to do slang. If you black, unfortunately, you don't have as many businesses. So you're out of a job. So you have to create a job, right? So when you see all these boycotts, it's because you don't see diversity anymore. Target, you don't see diversity anymore. Okay, the dollar store used to be full of Juneteenth, paper towels, napkins, cups, plates, pens. Nobody put any Juneteenth in their store around this area. But Evelyn did. Evelyn did. Okay. So I made money because I catered to Juneteenth because it is a big deal to celebrate that slaves can now make money. In 1865, slaves was working for free just for a meal. They had nothing. They worked like slaves, like a real slave. A kid ain't never heard about a slave, even though he is a slave. So slaves were working all these years. They were imported from all over Africa and they were put on the bottom of ships and they were shipped like cargo. And they knew so many of them would die. So they would put you in this little hole to see how you could fit on the ship. And then they ship you over here and they had to have enough cargo to make money. And then you work forever and never got anything for it. Well, in 1865 is when they say, you know what? This is inhumane. They have to get paid for their work. So some people still kept the slaves and never told them. But there's a little place in Galveston, Texas, said, oh no, this is it. And the slaves found out, and there was no cell phones, y'all. There was no cell phones. The slaves found out they were free. So when they found out they was free, they didn't have no money. So they had to continue to work for very, very low wages for the slave master if he would pay them. So that's why I sell Juneteenth items. But none of the stores sold Juneteenth. You know why? Because Black people gonna buy anyway. That's right, I said it. Black people gonna buy. You ain't gotta cater to them. You ain't gotta cater to them. That you're gonna have to get your nails done this week because they're gonna come anyway. So it's a wake-up call for us. It's a wake-up call for all the races that we need each other. We don't just need Black, white, Hispanic. We need everybody to support each other. So when you find out that certain people don't carry your product, then guess what? You carry it. You don't hate on them. Hey, we need each other, right? We need everybody to help pay these taxes and pay for these ambulance and fire trucks. We need everybody to be working together. But if you find that there is a shortage of items and people ask you for it, don't get mad at them. You start supplying it. And then people will come to you for it. So in other words, don't hate. Don't hate. Just do it. Just make it happen. Just get the stuff, make it happen, and sell it. Get prepared and sell it. If you see there's a shortage of something in your neighborhood and everybody want it, then guess what? It's you to do it. When I would go out and see, I want to go shop with us. I want to go buy something cultural. Oh, I want to do this. And then I didn't see it. And even when I came back home to Florida, I didn't see it. I had a small store. And I said, wow, I need to be bigger because we only get all this stuff at a festival. So I had to look at myself. So I'm telling you, I dreamed about it and I have it now. And I'm encouraging you now. But I can't encourage you if I don't put in your head, put in your mind that you can dream it and you can do it. And you can be in control of your finances and you overdraft, overdrawn bank account. If that don't inspire you to work, nothing will. A low bank account, if that don't inspire you to work, guess what? You will do it. You will change. You will change. Now, some people are broke because they choose to be broke. They have credit cards and they're afraid to use them. Okay. Oh, I don't want to use my credit card. Guess what? That's what it's for. Use your card, pay on your bill, pay the bill off, get a higher line of credit, and do it. If you have a great credit score and you don't have no money in the bank and you got credit cards, that means you're not doing something right. That means you're not reaching far enough. You know what I'm saying? Because you know how in the Bible get that lady had the mouth. She needed some money to pay bills. They said, "Come take her kids." She said, "Oh no, go get that oil. Let me go sell that oil. Use your mouth. Get them kids. Get them grandkids. Go sell it. Go make it. Go do it." Because the day is a different day, everybody. It's a different day. If you got money, you got credit, you got money. If you got work ethics, you can make money. You can make money. You can build credit. When you build credit, you can make more money. If you don't start doing it right now, when they start playing around with this war, we in it, we out of it, we waiting on gas to go down, we can't do it. We can't do it if we don't stretch out. If we don't start saying, today is the day I'm going to change. Today, I'm going to make some money today. I'm not going to, when I get my paycheck, I'm going to be surprised. Oh, my payday is today. I didn't even realize it. Because you're making money every day. You're too smart not to be making money every day. You too blessed. You too gifted. You got the stuff. Look, I didn't want to make face masks when COVID was here. I thought I was above that. A face mask? Are you kidding me? I'm like, I could not wrap my head around making a face mask. I mean, I had the hardest time of my life making face masks because I'm used to doing gowns. I'm used to doing this. I'm used to doing Stellar Awards. I'm used to doing big stuff. And I had to realize if I'm going to keep my doors open because my store was closed in the mall and I just had my small store in the neighborhood. Thank God I never sold it. And so I started making face masks. And once I figured out how to make the face mask, I put a billboard up, a big old billboard, say, here, stop the virus. And I had different people. I had white people. I had put up 6 billboards making face masks. I had men, white men. I had older women. I had kids. I had ethnic. Every billboard I had a different demographic. And I was making so many face masks. I was afraid that I was going to catch COVID because it was too many people. I had to leave them outside. When I caught COVID because my husband went on a golf tournament and he was on a plane and somebody on the plane had COVID and he came back and gave me COVID. Okay. I didn't get COVID from my customers. I was so scared. I was scared making the face mask, though I'm out there, right? But what I'm saying is I had to think smaller. So what I'm saying, all those who are making big projects and you are trying to make every stitch perfect, stop it. Stop being perfect and make the money. Stop trying to be perfect and taking so long to make something so simple. Make some simple stuff that can keep your bank account flowing and keep it going. So when you do make somebody some pants or a vest or a custom hat, you know, you got time to do it. So stop being perfect. I got one customer that complained about my sewing. She bought a small piece from me. I sent it to her in Miami. She sent me this horrible, oh, you're the worst person ever. You had two crooked stitches, and I'll be back from Brazil in 6 months. I said, okay, problem. I said, no problem. I said, you know what? I'm human. I'm not AI. I don't sew AI. And if it was crooked, then I'll fix it. So she said, okay. So when she came, she sent me a text again. You still haven't shipped my skirt, my top. I said, it wouldn't make sense for me to ship you a new top if you're in Brazil for 6 months. Okay, I'll be back in August. Thank you. So what I'm saying, you get she's probably 1 out of 5,000 that want my stitches to be perfect. 1 out of 5,000 that I've had within the last 2 years that complain about my stitches. She didn't complain about my fit. She said, I have a stitch thing that make it straight, but sometimes I just like to get it done, right? So stop being perfect. It's okay, right? I mean, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay to do your thing. The main thing is look at the big picture. You want money attract money, debt attract debt. Money attracts money, debt attract debt. When you're trying to be perfect, you lose money. When you're trying to build, look, you can always go back and fix a stitch. You can always look. I like when I get imperfected things because it's art to me. Long as it's not hanging off and it's not this and that. And if it is, I'll fix it myself. Okay. But you can do it. You can be the best of you. The reason I tell you this, okay, Elon Musk is a trillionaire, right? Elon Musk is a trillionaire. And I follow Elon Musk. Elon Musk is from South Africa. He builds the electric cars and he builds rockets to go to space. And this is what he said. Remember I told you about Elon Musk a few maybe about 100 videos ago, that Elon Musk used to sleep on the floor of his place, right? Of his car thing. Now, if you follow Elon Musk, you know he does a lot of drugs. He does drugs. It's no doubt he does drugs. You see him, he's always like this, okay? And then he got to do that because he got to stay up all the time. Now, mine is a cup of hot tea. This is my drug right here, y'all. In fact, I'm drinking peppermint tea tonight. Hot. It's hot, but I'm drinking hot tea. Okay, but to the story, Evan. Elon Musk says he can't believe it. I dreamed this, but I can't believe it. Elon Musk is a trillionaire. He said, I can't believe it. And what he said is that, this is what he said, y'all. This is what he said. Can you believe this? He said, I am If somebody would have told me this, because remember what he said? He said, I was down to my last $100,000. I needed another $100,000. I was down to my last $100,000. At the last minute, the last hour, somebody gave me $100,000. So I had $200,000, and I need to get these cars off the rack. And it was Christmas Eve. He said, if somebody would have told me I was gonna be a trillionaire, I would have said they must be on some cheap crack. Only person to say that is somebody who do drugs. He said they must be on some cheap crack if they think I'm gonna be a trillionaire. Now, none of y'all gotta be on no cheap anything, but that what I'm trying to tell you is that's how close you are to being a millionaire. A millionaire is not as hard to become as we think. A couple of houses is $1 million. 4 houses can be $1 million. Okay, so a millionaire is not as far away from you as you think, because you got a trillionaire. Nobody ever been a trillionaire. So we have millionaires, we have billionaires, and now we have trillionaires. So the higher it go, the easier it become for you to be a millionaire, because people are thinking volume, people are making money, right? Now I'm gonna say this before I call the roll call, because I know when I talk about money, you guys get it. You get it. Okay. There's a thing, and Miss Miriam Shelsby said it last week on our call. I haven't checked anybody's names yet, but I know she's usually on here every night. If not early, she's on here. Okay, Miss Moran Masterpiece Designs said it last week. She's from Shelby, North Carolina. In fact, I had North Carolina customers in her day from Raleigh. Okay, this is what she said. She said you can be in line and they can change the price on you while you're in line. This is like Walmart. Walmart got this thing called dynamic price. Dynamic price. When you see those little gray bars in the Walmart, they have dynamic price. Dynamic price, you can look it up. Dynamic price means you can change by the demand. Like Miriam said, when you go stand in Walmart, before you check out, they done changed the price. Okay, so what that means is that if you go at Walmart, what they're going to be doing, they're experimenting. You could go to Walmart during dinner time and the price may be lower because most people are home for dinner. You can go to Walmart in the evening time and the price, like at a closing, it might be lower. You can go at Walmart at peak time and the price might be higher. Okay, but it's nothing different, everybody. It's no different. If you see, I had said this last week, the reason the tickets were high in New York is because of the demand. The seat didn't change, the location didn't change, it was by the demand. So everybody went to demand. So that's how you have to do it. Remember when we went to prices last week? We were talking about 10 cents for a bottle of water. A bottle of water, you buy a case for $4 at Sam's, and that price costs you 10 cents, and you sell it for $1. That same water you can sell somewhere else for $2 or $3 or $4, depending on demand. So you can't go to Sam's back and forth because the stadium lets out. So you go by demand, right? So when you start pricing your items, look at where you are and look at the demand. Because if it's a really, really cheap t-shirt with just something flapped on it, you can get $25 with it at the game. But if it's a cheap t-shirt with something flapped on it and it's low demand, you might get $12 for it. Or you might get $10 for it. So when you're pricing, look at that. And the reason I'm talking about the dynamic pricing, because that's what you got to know how to do when you are going for your million. If you're trying to just keep it $1,000 a week, $1,000 a month, $1,000, I made $1,000 this year on the side. No, 10 times that, 100 times that. So you got to know how the game is being done. You got to know where your demand is. When it's cold, winter items sell more. When it's hot, summer items sell more. Summer items are smaller, they're less priced, so you got to sell more units. And then everything else you have to sell higher, right? You sell higher when it's thicker fabric, when it's winter fabric, when it's smaller, you sell it for less. Unless it's like fine silk or so. So now I got a lot to talk about, but I'm gonna do the roll call because I see everybody is showing up. All right. Now, I love y'all so much. I'm gonna tell you. When I be getting it together, I be saying, okay, who's gonna be the first millionaire on this call? Who is gonna be it? Raise your hand, y'all. Don't be last. Raise your I'm gonna do it. You know what I mean? So if you're just on the channel, this is Evelyn's Creations. I'm the hardest designer on this side of heaven. I say it live and clear. I work and I get it done and I share. Okay. So I show up, I get it done, I share. And that's how you make it. You get it done. You listen, you take action. You take action because these are boot camp members. If you are on this channel tonight, the people that you see that are waving and saying hi, that's because they got some skin in it. They are future millionaires. They have it. Remember this. When you plant a seed in the ground, you don't see anything. You just hope and pray and water. The same thing. Hope, pray, and water. But when that seed comes up, then you start seeing you got to nurture it. And it'll get bigger and better and better. And that's your gift. So if you plant a seed in the ground and you water it and it gets sunlight and you see it start to come up, you say, I made a scarf. I made a hat. I made this. And when you start doing it, you can't do nothing but win. Stop settling for mediocrity. Stop settling that, okay, I made enough money this week. No. Build your inventory up. We're going to go to Atlanta. Go to Miss Bernice. Miss Bernice said, Miss Evelyn, I need to talk to you, but I can't talk till late. I go to bed at 11. I saw her text at 2:40 a.m. I said, I'll call you tomorrow. I called her at what? 10:30 p.m. I'm serious about you all. I am serious. When you start paying for that coaching and you got a problem, you tell me when you need to talk to me, guess what? I'm going to be on you because if you don't get it, it's on me. And I'm not going to sleep with you and need some help. But I want you to know it's serious business, right? Even if you don't need the money, prove it to yourself that you can do it. Prove it to yourself that you can have more than enough because the cheapest house in Florida right now is $300,000. So how are your children and grandchildren going to buy a home? They're trying to stop property taxes in Florida. How are you going to survive in your neighborhood when your police and your ambulance can't come to you? Because you know the poor areas are going to get less income, right? So no, vote that down. No, we need to know more details. How are you going to survive when we can't survive now? So get your gift going on. And everybody in the world is going through something. Everybody in every part of the world is going through something. So don't wait for it to happen. Be proactive. Do what you got to do. Call your friend. Poke your friend and say, hey, let's get this stuff done. Let's have more than enough. Let's have more than enough. Let's dream bigger. Let's reach further. Let's take risks on ourselves and our business. I guarantee you, if you cook a sweet potato pie, you'll sell it tomorrow. If you cook a pound cake, you'll sell it tomorrow. And if you know how to cook, you can cook and sew at the same time. See, I cook some things, but my husband is cook. But if you know how to cook, I can cook. I cook for him. But I'm saying he know how to really cook. You know what I mean? So if you know how to cook, you can sell stuff and be making stuff at the same time with your other gift. There's no way you cannot have money. There's no way you can't handle $100 problem. $100 problem, say, I'll take that problem. If that's the only problem I got, I'll take that. Let's not be overdrawn our bank accounts. Let's work on it. Now, these people who got some skin in it, these are the millionaires. They're saying, I am going to be that millionaire, Miss Evelyn. I'm going to be in it. I'm going to be there. In fact, I'll loan you some money, right? I'm gonna say, no, keep it, baby. Just keep it. Just build somebody else. Keep somebody else going. Keep somebody else. Okay, this is the millionaire list. I'm gonna call the millionaire list. If you hear your name, if you on this channel and you hear your name, wave at me. If you got some spare change, give me a super chat. Buy me a cup of tea. Okay, here we go. Millionaire number one. Now we're gonna go down the list. We got here Indigo Silk, Liz Wilson, Pink Pizzazz Boutique, Queen of Hearts, Mildred Desserts, Soul Pearls Creations, Dewana Green Wade, Patricia, Blessings, Mary Jones, Gwendolyn Member Starbs, Daughter of Zion Creations, Sharon Courts, Constance Clinton, Awanda Brown, Tracy Davis, Jean Robinson, Life versus Living by Lorraine, Ellen Banks, Alice Sandhart Barnhart, Michelle Stringer, Yana Hodgepodge, Bernice Thompson, Carolyn Royal, Nina Rose Treasures, Shamra A. Customs, Lyrline Rockingham, Lumnan Laser, Angela Hamilton, Miss T from the SIP, and Linda Brown. Linda Brown. Okay, come on, y'all. Give everybody a hand. And that's what we're going to do when I start calling these millionaire names. Wave your hand. Hey, Miss Evelyn, I'm here tonight. I'm here tonight. Okay. Now, what we got to do tonight, I'm going to talk about some good stuff and some good stuff and some good stuff. Okay. First of all, you know, I am a former college basketball starter, point guard. And there was this wonderful game last week, and it was a championship for the New York Knicks. Their colors are orange and blue. They won the game in the last second. If you didn't see this, the last second. Okay. The point guard, Bronson, he saw the game was going down. Halftime. He looked at the game. It was something else. And he had that fire in his eye, like, I'm not going back to New York to play another game. So he had 45 points out of the 90 points. He took it on his back. Say, I'm gonna do this. He got that shot in at the last point at the last game. Now, the San Antonio, they were a great team. They should not hold their head down. They did everything they could. They even got nasty at the end. They was like dog biting. Somebody lost teeth. They were like, you know what I mean? When you got losing a tooth, you start saying, hey, 53 years over here, they never won a championship, 53 years. And over here, this was going to be their first one, first team, new team, good, great players, great, good looking players, both of the teams, right? So this is the thing. They won the game in San Antonio. It was a nail biter like this. It was a nail biter, okay? You ever had a nail biter? I don't bite my nails, but if you had a nail biter, that's the kind of game it was. So the game was over. He was from New York, born in New York, and I was looking at the interviews. This is what he said. This is the winning quarterback. Today was the parade, and so many New York fans are here in the mall. They flew out this morning to go to the parade. Parade's at 10 o'clock today. How y'all gonna make it? We gonna make it, Miss Evelyn. Okay. All right. So in New York, if you ever been to New York, it's like a city of concrete. There's nothing but concrete. You look to find a tree, some grass. It's nothing but concrete in New York. Nothing but big buildings, right? So New York, their main sport is basketball because you can dribble. You can dribble. All right. I got to give a little bit. I got to get you involved. But anyway, so he said, they said, were you afraid? He said, the only reason, he said, no, I wasn't afraid. Well, how did you do it? He said, I'm going to tell you what afraid is. His father used to play basketball professionally. He said, my father used to practice 3 times a day. Now, I played basketball. I practiced maybe 2 or 3 hours in a day. We never practiced 3 times in a day. He said, my dad practiced 3 times in a day and was hoping that he would keep getting drafted to play for different teams because he needed to feed his family. He said, my dad, that was afraid. I was afraid that my dad wasn't going to have a job. I was afraid that my dad wasn't going to have a job. Now, let me tell you something. I'm going to tell you something, and I'm not mad at you, right? I'm writing the book, and I'm getting the book edited the right way. So when I start to watch y'all make your millions and I'm in my rocking chair, that my book, my first book, Birth for This Club, this team, will be great. A couple people have said, I want my refund. I have said, okay, the book is $28. I'm saying that for this. Sometimes you have financial hardship. Sometimes you can't wait on that $28, but I'm going to tell you, you can work it out. But if you got to have it, you got to have it. But you can work out a $28 problem. You can work out a $35 problem. If you can't work out a $35 problem, I'm not doing my job, y'all. I'm not doing it. I need to be fired. But if you wait on the grace of God to do it the right way, everybody on here going to be a million plus. Okay? I say that to say, Mr. Bronson, the point guard for New York Knicks, took $100 million pay cut. Think about that. Someone who can't make a $28 pay cut and someone was willing to make $100 million pay cut. Y'all better ask God something. If you can't take a $35 pay cut, but this man took $100 million pay cut, they said, how could you take Look, I can't even imagine $100 million in my bank account. I'm not thinking big enough. That's what I say. I'm not thinking big enough because this guy was told he was too short. He couldn't play. He can't do this. He can't do that. He can't do this. But guess what he did? He knew that New York deserved some happiness. Did you see all those people? I want you to go on your TV tonight and look at the parade for New York City for the championship and look at why this one black, I'm saying it, Juneteenth, one black player that was the least likely to survive took $100 million pay cut so they could get him some help. That means we can't do it by ourselves. That means when you're trying to make your money, you better get somebody. Miss Ellen said, I grabbed my grandchild. Miss Bernice said, I grabbed an assistant. Miss Masterpiece Design, I'm going to take my baby over here and I'm going to show him something. I'm going to show him how to survive. He taking fashion school, but they ain't going to teach him nothing. I'm going to tell you right now, they're going to teach him how to put something on a mannequin. Miss Marion going to teach him how to survive, baby. Get some elbow room. Get some stretch fabric. Do this. They look like that. Trends change, trends don't change, right? So listen to this, y'all. Listen to this real good. I'm not blaming nobody because God has been so good to me because I've been so good to him. When you can get a person that said, I would give up $100 million to get me a great team that we might win. I can't do it. That's, to me, that's the person of the universe. That's a person that is so selfless that they said no. And his dad said, son, do you really mean it? He said, I mean it, Dad. I mean it, Mom. I mean it. And they said, well, how you stay focused? He said, I turn off social media. I turn off social media. I go on it for a couple of minutes. I might put out, thank you, everybody, for wishing me a great game. And I turn it off. I don't listen to the naysayers. The lady said, what about the people that say you couldn't do it? He said, I didn't say nothing to them then, and I'm not saying nothing to you about them now. That was his response. I'm going home to celebrate my city. I love New York. Look, when you get somebody, I don't know any player would do that. I don't really know any player that would sacrifice. Now, some sacrifice for maybe a center or a point guard. They might sacrifice they pay a little bit to get one player. but he sacrificed $100 million to get him a whole good team. And they worked together, they stayed together, they slept together, they worked out together, they relaxed together. So everybody be on the same team. And they went in, and guess what? They got lucky with that last second because they was already in shape. They was already in shape, and they won that game. And they won that game because somebody had a dream that he can bring New York back to life. He could bring New York back to competing with basketball. He can come back and just help the greats of the greats to come back to the city. And everybody is in awe. And look, nobody was put down. Like the creep that was over there at the White House. Nobody was belittled. That's what I said. Nobody was put down. Now, the creep could have been anybody. I didn't call anybody names, but if you watched it, you know what I'm talking about, right? We can't put people down when we on a high. We just can't do that. We can't do that. We just can't, if you don't like a person, just leave them alone. Don't call their name out. Just bless them. But you don't call people out. This guy said, I'm going to give up $100 million and I'm going to make New York great again. And that's what he did. So he was unselfish with that. Another thing that happened great today is that today is the day that President Obama, past President Obama, opened up his museum in Chicago, where I worked a lot. And he had all these stars to come out. And when I listened to him today, he said to this, and I thought it was great for me to tell you this. He said this. I want you to write this down. He said, this is so simple, but it's so hard to get in our head sometimes. He said, hard things are hard. He said, hard things are hard, which means when we do things the same way and we trying to change it, and the reason he was saying this is because when he got Medicare for people, called the Obamacare, and they changed it to the CARES Act, when he went out to make sure every American can get some type of help for their child, or they could get some type of help when they get older, or some type of help for people who didn't have enough income that they can go to the doctor. When I went into the slave dungeon in Ghana, and I went to the bottom of the slave castle, where Obama had laid the roses for those people who had came over there for him. And he had his name down there. And he saw that everybody in Ghana had health care in Africa. It was $20 a year at that time. He came back and said, I'm going to make sure we get health care. And it kept being shot down because he didn't have enough people on both sides. And they said, what happened? He said, I had to realize that hard things are hard. The things that I couldn't complete in the 8 years, it's hard. It's hard for us to get on the same page. It's hard for us to trust each other. It's hard for us to believe in each other. It's just hard. Okay? So this is the thing, right? We have to realize that when we're doing something and we want to get our first million is not going to be easy. It may be hard. And don't give up. So he said, hard things are hard. And we still have work to do. And when we still have work to do, what we do? We go to work. If you can only put an hour in a day on your business or your craft or your prep work, find an hour. And the hour don't have to all be at one time. Find 20 minutes here, 20 minutes there, and 20 minutes there till you can get that hour. Then you start another hour. Because if you're going to be a millionaire, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. And you're going to have to spend some money to get there. And the only way you spend some money is you build credit. You use other people's money. If you only got $5,000 in your bank account and you got to pay all your bills and you might have $100 left, it's going to be very hard to be a millionaire with $100. If you got a couple $1,000 a couple $100 in your bank account, and you got a credit card with $500. You got to start using that $500. You got to start selling some stuff, pay out that $500. That $500 gonna go to $750. Gonna go to $1,000. They're gonna keep raising your credit limit without you even asking. But if you don't use your cards, they're gonna say, "Oh, she don't need the money." That's how business work. When you use it, you get more. If when you don't use it, they take it back. I had a card they took back because they said you never used it. I said, "Oh yeah, I didn't use that card. I need to start swiping that card sometime." So if you don't use it, they take it back because it looks good. It looks good. It looks bad on them that if you got card holders out there and they're not using the card, then that means that they don't have a chance of making money off of you. So they give you the card to make money off of you. And if you have an interest that you have to pay, say your interest is $25 or $35, that's called a business expense. Oh, I couldn't pay it all off. Don't worry about that. Go sell another hat. That'll pay your interest. If you make a hat, say you got a card, it's got $35 interest, and you sell a hat for $20, and you got $5 into that hat. And you sell two of those hats. So that interest costs you $10. The cost that it took to make that hat. But it cost you $10, but you made $40. So you pay the $35 interest. So you just shrink it. So think about it differently. Don't think about interest as a penalty. My accountant had to tell me that. My accountant said, "That's a business expense, Evelyn." I said, "Oh, okay." I said, "Well, I don't have any money." He said, "Look at all your inventory." He said, "Look." He said, look at all your inventory. That's your money." And I'm gonna tell you something. If you ever work around Africans will always tell you that you should have more inventory than money. Like Elon Musk, he's a trillionaire. He doesn't have $1 trillion in the bank. He has $1 trillion worth of stock that can turn into money, that can be sold, right? So don't think, oh, he got $1 trillion. How that bank gonna hold all that money? It's in stock, it's in shares, it's in investors. It's like, oh, you know what? I need to get on his. Oh, I'm gonna buy some stock. Oh, I'm gonna buy some stock over there because those rockets keep going up. Those rockets are also hurting our universe. Okay, so there's always a downside to everything. Those rockets also need to be regulated, right? So so it's a give and take. How much? Okay, they said we're gonna make these phones go faster. Now countries are banning phones from teenagers because the phones are taking away your dinner time. You go to dinner, everybody's on the phone. The waiter can't even take your order. So you know what happens when the waiter can't take your order? They put a little computer on your desk and you just order from the table. And you pay from the table and come by, ask you, "Do you need anything?" "No, I don't need anything. Leave me alone. I'm gonna stay on my phone." So we're getting dehumanized with the social media. So they're just saying, okay, since they don't need a waiter, they just need me to bring the food. I'm gonna bring them the food. But now we done killed the bus boy. Because now the waiter don't need no help. They don't need nobody to water the tables. They just, so technology is also hurting us indirectly because we're not acting. Like when I have a problem now, the first thing I do is say, "How do I speak to a human first? I don't want to go through all this. Anything else? No, I want to speak to a human, please." Okay, customer service, yes. Then I speak to a human. I want to talk to a human. I don't want to. Sometimes you can't, but sometimes you can if you be persistent. Okay, now the title tonight was not to fear your dreams. So tonight, when you ask for it, I tell you how to ask for it, right? When you close your eyes and you ask for what you want and you say thank you, it will happen. There's nothing you can't ask for that you don't. Even if you ask for the $1 million, okay, y'all are say y'all want $1 million, right? And you're going to get $1 million. When you ask for it, ask to be a good steward with it. Ask that, "God, you gave me this $1 million. Let me be a steward with it and let this million multiply." And the reason that we feel that 1 million is a lot of money is because we haven't been exposed to a lot of money. When you work on your job and you have an 8-hour job, the 8-hour job is just for you to survive. Nobody can really pay you enough money to thrive because the more money you make, the more you spend, right? When you make a lot of money, you buy a bigger house. When you buy a bigger house, you got more air conditioner. You got to buy more furniture. You got to pay more to get your carpet clean. Okay, when you have a modest salary, you live within your means, right? Sometimes you buy a used car instead of a new car. All right. So, but when you make more, you spend more. But if you making more with your hands, that means you can think better on your buying habits, what you can do. When I read Sam Walton's book, everybody that gives him 20 years is going to retire with $1 million. The first thing he said is that people, when they get the $1 million, the first thing they do is they waste it all within a year. They never made but a minimum wage. And he set them up that when they worked for 20 years, they would retire with $1 million. But they mess it up. When you work faithfully with your hands and you make that million, slow your roll, son. I asked my husband this time, I'm telling my business now. He went to his reunion, his police reunion and his class reunion this past week. And I said, well, did you see the grandkids? He said, we don't have kids, but he had his daughter. He had a marriage before me, so he has a daughter. She had kids. So I said, did you see the kids? Did you see the kids? He said, nah. He said, they gonna want money. I said, what you mean? He said, Evelyn, there's a time when you stop giving money to your grandchildren. There's a time when your grandchildren need to go and start working. He said one of them was at the gym. Why he is not? He said one of them was at the gym. Why wasn't he pushing a lawnmower somewhere? I was so proud of him because my husband is a giver. He gives. He's a giver. There's nothing those grandkids can't call for and he won't give it to them, right? So he has 5 grandchildren from 2 children. One has 3 and one has 2. And there's nothing that he won't do. And his family, his sisters won't do for them, right? But he said there's a time when they have to learn, they have to figure it out. Okay, they out of school, it's the summer. One done graduated, one gonna graduate next week. They need to be out there working. I mean, he wouldn't even give one $5 to get some gas for the lawnmower. He said, what you mean you can't go get $5 from your mama and get some gas and then pay her back and cut that yard for that lady? I was so proud of him because I've never seen him do that. He said, no. They big now. They can go get that. They want a car. I need to help them get the car. They got some money to put with it. I'll help them. But they all got the money with it. They can walk. I was so proud of him because, I'm just not used to him being firm with them. They got him by the purse string, but he's like, no. They grown now. I can't take care of them now. They can make decisions. They need to be working. It's hot, but they gonna get over it. Okay, so that was it. But anyway, I'm finna read y'all messages. Hopefully, I've been a help to you tonight because I love the game. I love that it's Juneteenth. I love that it's a way that I can tell people about it. I can't wait till I get on the radio on Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, and tell them about Juneteenth and how we became free from slavery and got paid for what I worked. And now what we do, the reason that I like that is because when we now have started depending on a job versus when slavery was over, we actually made things. We actually made things to make money, especially Black designers. Black designers, look, some of us, as if you was a designer back in 1800s, 1865, when slavery was over, you was still a slave. They wouldn't let you go because you was too valuable. So the female or the males weren't sewing back then like now. If they were doing it privately. Most of the sewers were women. But back then, the woman was kept because she did so much for the house. And she had to buy herself from slavery. And then she had to buy her family from slavery. Even though slavery was over, you still, in some cases, had to make some side money to buy your freedom from the slave master. Tell me about that. So when he made our hands, he was showing out, y'all. When he made our hands and we can get to that sewing machine, I remember I was on a plane one time coming from California, and I sat by this white man in the I wasn't in the I've never been in first class, but I've been close to it, right? So I was on the plane, and this white man was on there, and he said, "What do you do?" I says, "I'm a designer. I'm a fashion designer." He said, "Oh, really?" I said, "Yeah." He says, "So you really can make clothes for people?" I said, "I do. I will make clothes for people at this convention. I will make clothes for them and they will take it with them. And I have a fabric for a bag full of prep items, a bag full of finished items, and I have a bag of fabric to produce items." He said, "What?" He said, "You got hands of gold." I said, "What?" He said, "You actually can make the garment and sell the garment and get paid for the garment in the same week." I said, "Actually, it's 3 days, sir." He said, "Well, how you do it?" I said, "I don't sleep." He said, "What do you mean you don't sleep?" I said, "I take cat naps. I take cat naps. I condition myself that I need to get the money." I said, "Because if I don't make money, I can't get home. There's nobody in my family can pay for me to get back home. So I have to do it." And then he was like, "You got hands of gold." He said, "Are you gonna be okay?" I said, "Yeah, I'll be okay." I said, "I'll be okay. I can sew. I will make whatever they order. If they order 5 dresses, I'll make 5 dresses. If they order 4 pair of pants, I'll make 4 pair of pants. If they order blouses, I'll make blouses." I said, "But remember now, I have some prepped, I have some finished, and I have actually probably like 3 pieces of luggage full of fabric. And I never shipped anything back. Never, ever, ever. I would sew until the last minute. I would sew on a cardboard box when they take the tables from the convention. And these people were all affluent. Most of them. I mean, one show I did in California, it was a math show. And everything you made had to have a number on it. It had to have a ruler on it. It had to have something that deal with math because everything we do deals with numbers. 5 fingers, 10 toes, 2 ears, two holes in our nose, 2 lips. Everything has numbers. So it's a math convention that everything you sell, the only way you can get in the convention is if you have numbers on the fabric. So I would paint numbers on, I would embroidery numbers on, I would just make all kind of less than plus signs. I would do all this to be able to fit in the show. Every person in the convention, 10,000 people had to have on something with math. So that was a challenge, but because I never had that, I usually could just bring something and hope you like it, right? So what I'm saying to you all tonight, you on the right channel, and this book got 30, what? I'm gonna be 60 July the 4th. This book got from the time that I was doing conventions. I've been in business 39 years. So this book, Be Patient, is coming. When you read what's in the book and when you see the videos and you feel my passion to share my life stories, I get more personal every night and give you little clips of my life, right? You understand that when somebody give it and they pour it into you, you got to use it. You can't listen to me and not use it. You can't listen to me and be overdrawn because you won't look at your bank account till you get your bank statement. Or you won't get your bank account till they start knocking on your door saying, "Hey, ding, 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 look at your account. You're overdrawn." You can protect yourself by just being aware. Use your phone to your advantage. Don't get sidetracked. Stay focused. Stay with the client. Ask for the next sale. If somebody buy one dress, ask them would they buy 3 dresses. If somebody buy one hat, ask them would they buy it in another color. If they buy 4, can you get 4? Can you get one free? If you have some old inventory, have a sale. Have a $10 sale. I just opened up a $10 store last Saturday. I opened up a $10 store next to me because I said, okay, they're not gonna do DEI. The dollar store gonna do DEI. I know if somebody come to the mall, they'll buy a $10 dress, they'll buy a $10 scarf. So I'm looking at all my old inventory that has $39.99, but actually $59.99 to $39.99. And I'm doing a customer appreciation sale for $10 because you know what? A quick $10 is better than a lazy $49. A quick $10 is better than a lazy $59. Because I got plenty of fabric. I'll make more stuff. I'll make more things because I'm not gonna let nobody come. If I can't get you in 5 stores, man, I can't, I'm not doing my job. You know what I mean? I told a guy today, he said, "Oh, you got that Muhammad Ali's picture?" I said, well, "How many you want?" "Oh, okay." Because he knew I was on it. I'm like, "What you want? You want me? You want me? That means you want to pay me. That means you need some of my energy. Come take my art, put in your house, and give you hope. Come take my clothes, fly to New York, fly to Chicago, take my stuff to the parade, take my stuff to Obama." I mean, I was in the room when Obama and Hillary Clinton and the other guy that got caught cheating on his wife at that time when they was running. I was selling at the convention for 10,000 people when Obama was a senator. When he was running to be a president, I was there. I was in a convention center in Washington, D.C. when Obama won president. And you could write Obama name on toilet paper and sell it. Anything you had with Obama, there was nobody who left that convention less than $10,000. Okay. I'm giving you some experiences because I'm telling you, you can do it too. You're going to run out of merchandise. You're going to run out of merchandise and they're not going to run out of money because they got this thing called plastic credit cards. So if you're looking at your neighborhood for money, it's not in your neighborhood. Not all of it. Some of it is. Okay, before I read your next, I'm going to tell you one more thing because I want to share this from Miss Bernice. Miss Bernice is from Atlanta, Georgia, and she called me and I called her back at 10:30 one night this week. Maybe it was Wednesday night. Maybe it was Tuesday night. Maybe it was Tuesday night. Or was it last night? Anyway, okay, I talked to Miss Bernice. Miss Bernice is doing something and she's not a social media person. And she said, what if she said, I got some help with my Instagram and my Facebook page, and I don't know what, I don't do that, right? But she got some help with that. I'm gonna use this before I read everybody comments. If you have an Instagram or a TikTok or a Facebook page and you think you're going to make a lot of money on it, you're wrong. You are absolutely wrong. Okay. Now you're going to say, Miss Evelyn, I make money on TikTok. I make money on Facebook and I make money on Instagram. You can make money on all 3 platforms and you can make money on some other ones. I'm not going to list them. I'm going to list what she said. But if you get the coaching, I'm going to show you how to really make money. And I'm gonna tell you why you can't make a lot of money on those platforms. First of all, when you're on Instagram, you should have them now, not TikTok. I'm not a TikTok fan, but you should have a Facebook page and an Instagram page, and you can connect them so when you put a post, they can go to both. And the reason that I tell you this for you is because when you share your information first on those platforms, you actually you're actually showing your merchandise before you make money. And you're not showing it to the person that's going to buy. Like if you do the platforms that I'm telling you to do, their credit card is already on file. They also have a purchase protection with those credit card companies. And I will show you how to get a secured payment so they will trust you when they pay you. Okay? When you on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok, it's because you want to be popular. When you get popular, that doesn't mean you always get paid. What I would suggest is when you get great reviews or item sells well and you put it on those platforms and it's a 5-star review and somebody says, this was great, it worked for me, I bought it in all colors. That's when you use social media as your platform to market and advertise. When you put something on Facebook, say you're advertising a coffee cup, and you say, I got this beautiful coffee cup, it's $10. I know that's cheap, but it's $10. Then the person going to be wondering, who is this? Is it real? Is it AI? Do they ship on time? And do I want to give them my credit card information? You got 5 strikes against you, plus you done gave them your cup idea. And now they're going to take that cup idea and make it their idea. All right? Then you got to go back and fight and say, no, that was my cup. Okay, so be careful with those. Even if you make a few $100s. But I want you to make tens and tens of thousands of dollars, not a few dollars. So that's why you have to get the coaching and know how to get yourself set up and get secured links so that your customers, when they buy, they'll keep buying and over and over and over. And when I was talking to Miss Bernice at 10:30 at night, my phone was going cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. And I said, Miss Bernice, people are buying. People shop when everybody's asleep, and they shop from different areas of the country, right? Excuse me. So what I'm saying is that when I shared with her, those people were buying from Arizona, Tennessee. I'm not there. I don't know them. They don't know me. They see the platform. It's on the page. Their credit card is already on there, and they just got to say, I want that. I want that. How many days? And I got my stuff set up right now that I ship in a week to 10 days. That's a long time. And the reason I set it up like that now temporarily, because the stores are busy. So if I get sidetracked, I don't want to be a late arrival on my mail order. Okay. But then they'll tell me, hey, somebody said, can I get this sooner? I'll say, yes, I'll ship it tomorrow. Okay. So what I'm sharing with you is don't feel bad if you don't have a Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok. That doesn't mean don't get it, but don't let that be the only place you're selling, because you, first of all, are giving your idea away. You're letting them know that this is what's selling for me, or this is what I want to sell, or this is going to be the next trend. And if you're on TikTok, that still belongs to China. China is a master copier. It's just like New York. If you go to New York, they'll print my face and put it on a t-shirt. Oh, she's such and such and such, and it'll sell. Okay. You put yourself out there before you do it, and they'll take it. And at the same time, if you drag someone's logo or their photos and they put it on you put it on your site, that's copy infringement. You be careful with that. So when you grab your photo, make that photo of what you have control. You don't have control of anything. Let's be clear. But make sure you have it. So if you have to say, you know what, that's my photo. I printed this on June the 18th at 10 p.m. and that's when it went live. Bam, that belongs to you. Okay. So what I'm saying is that when you put yourself out there so you can win. And you don't have to be double checking and seeing where you are. And then when you sell it, it's your baby. Because when you sell on the platform that I'm going to tell you, okay, look at this picture. Look behind me, right? Say if I took a picture of something and this was, I could blur it all out, or I could put something as a backdrop. When you put it on your platform that I tell you to put it on, and someone tries to steal it, the algorithm is going to say, no, you can't put that there because it belongs to somebody else. So that's when AI works for you. If you put something out there on Facebook or Instagram and you want to sell it yourself, and it's somebody else's stuff or somebody else's logo or somebody else's picture, Facebook, Google, and all of them, they won't take it down, even if it's not true. They won't take it down because they want likes, they want views, they want to sell advertisement on your Facebook channel. You know, you see the pop-ups. But if you get onto a real site, like the one I'm going to share, that all the ones that's being coached right now, and you put your picture up, and say you put your picture up and it's in your bedroom, or if it's on your front porch, or if it's your background with your items on it and it's got your hand on it. If someone try to crop that and say, oh, I'm going to sell this, this is hers, I'm going to crop, snap picture, take it over here, drag it over there, post it over there. When you put it on these real websites, they're going to say, no, you can't have that. That belongs to Evelyn. In fact, I'm going to tell you what happened. because I have my websites competing with each other, right? I had a lazy employee, and I told her to put something on the site. I was showing her how to put something on the site. She actually took a picture that I did for this store and took it and put it on another site for my other store. She got flagged. I made it, but I told her to make her own, put the item on another head, change the outfit, change the dress, and do something else. But instead of her doing that, she just took the same. In other words, she wanted to make like she had worked all day, and I wasn't going to see it. What she did was she took the outfit that I had, instead of her doing the outfits that I made for that store, she drug my pictures and put on that site. And that site got flagged from the algorithm that you're stealing somebody else's clothes, image, and design. So I had to let her go, right? Because you're not working, you're just stealing. How you gonna steal from your own store? All you gotta do is put the outfit I already made in a different style on a mannequin, take the picture and write the description. Let me see it. She stole it from the own store, y'all. So be careful. Excuse me. Be careful. Listen to the videos if you're not ready to prepare for coaching. But if you are ready to soar and make more than enough, excuse me, it's $125 a month. It's $1,500. I will answer your call. I will call you back. I will let you know what you need to do. I will return your text. Okay. And that's what I can do right now. So when we get this slot filled up, the next price is going to go to 18. The next price will go to 2,100. But I'm trying to keep the pricing down so everybody can get into it. It's for a year, and it takes a year to get it going and flowing. That doesn't mean you'll get it all, but that means you'll get it started. And then when the sea open, when the Red Sea open, and you can walk through that, go to the bank. All right, I'm fired up, y'all. I know y'all tired of me tonight, but anyway, we finna start talking and listening. I'm gonna let you go because I know y'all sewing. I know you're doing something. I know you're painting. Okay, we're gonna start here. Oh, come on, sweetie. What happened? What happened to me? Okay, I'm gonna start from the bottom since I can't. Okay, here it is. It says 21st century bestsellers. I just joined a new church. I was thinking I would sell my wares at home. Parties hosted by church ladies. My hostess gift is 10% off. Okay. 21st century bestsellers. That sounds like you are a real estate person. Or maybe not. Okay, I just joined a new church. I'm thinking I would sell my wares at home parties hosted by church ladies. My hostess gift is 10% of what I earn. Okay, now that's a good place to start, and then you're going to outgrow that, and then you're going to make so much more. Okay. And what I would say, if you're starting at home and you're starting with church groups, have a filler, but also start selling something that's good for everybody. Be a sneaker. A sneaker means that one size fit all, one size fit most, and the color works for all cultures, all kinds at any time. So figure out what you can do that can fit those sweet spots, and then just build a bigger audience. And that's my suggestion for 21st century bestsellers. Dewana Green says, good evening from California. Okay, so it's early over there. So Pearl's Creation says, that's so true because I have seen that happen on Facebook. Absolutely. They will steal and drag and take what you have and won't give you a receipt. Okay, please hit the like button. 13 out of 33 watching and listeners. Okay. So Pearl's Creation, that's right. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Okay, Miss Mildred Desserts. That's right, Evelyn. You did. You can't depend on another job. You have to be your own boss to sell what you want and wherever you want it to. Yes. And that's the thing, right? I don't want, listen to me. When you're on Facebook and Instagram, and TikTok, that is for people in a small little area. Okay. When you on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, unless somebody know your address, meaning know your TikTok name, your Facebook name, Instagram name, you got to build a clientele. And this is what happens when you own those social media outlets. Your thing is only going to be up for a little while. Then it gets pushed down. And then you got to get somebody that's just strolling through stuff that you say. Okay. When you're on those platforms, you're just there for a little while. When you're on the platforms with the stuff I use and the stuff I give you, it's out there. Like tonight, right? You on this YouTube channel, it's going to be out there forever and a day. And you can come back and look at it. You can look at the title. You can always get there. But if you got to go to something I did last year on Facebook or Instagram, you be done went to sleep trying to just finding the right topic. So you got to be on the right channel so people can see you all the time and buy from you all the time. And like I told you, when Miss Bernice and I was talking the other night in the midnight hour, they were buying stuff that I put on the thing 3, 4, 5 years ago. They were still shopping. And it was just like I said, it was in all these people's carts. And that person bought it. Then that person bought it. Then that person bought it. And what I did was, if I don't want to sell on my account, I have a thing on my platform that says, it says treat me. And I give 10% off. You want to treat yourself? 10% off. So it was payday. So people were saying, hey, I got to treat me. I got to get it. I got to get it now. Okay. And so what I do is when they buy, I go back and I say, I got on that particular item, I said I had 10 in stock. I can do 100 of them. So what I did was I went back and say, I have 10 more in stock. So I just pushed the inventory up. So other people, when I go look in the back office and see how many things they got in their cart, when I go look in their cart, because I'll teach you how to go look in their cart. And when I look in their cart and I see a lot of people got that item, I increase the inventory level so that they all can feel like they get one. Because if you decrease the inventory that I only can do 3, then what's going to happen is they're going to say, well, man, everybody got in their cart. I know I won't get one. No, you can get one too. Come on over here. I'll take your money too. And those were Kufi hats at $40 a pop. That's what was selling last night. Today, jewelry. Okay. This is Miriam. She said, I am looking forward to coming in October to learn how to work at a convention show. I will definitely be there. I am making them. You know what? When you get ready to do a convention, like say, one of the first conventions I did was until I found my niche of conventions. When you go to some conventions, you're going to find the best ones for you, and you're going to find the ones you can't wait to finish because you didn't make no money, right? But there's something you can learn at all of them. The first convention I went to a Baptist convention. It was up there. It was probably in Milwaukee somewhere. It was up there. It was a big old convention center. We have no rugs or nothing. It was just like, here's your table, here you go. It was no curtains, no drapes or nothing. It was just like, bam, like you was just in a basement or something. But it was a guy selling t-shirts, and it was, I bought the t-shirt that says, I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. A blue t-shirt with white writing. The front said, I can do all things, and the back said, which Christ strengthens me, right? I didn't make any money at that show, but I'm gonna tell you what I did. I learned a lot. And the guy told me, he said, whenever you go to a convention, always find something you can buy and resell so you constantly keep your inventory up. So he said, never go to a convention and not buy anything from a vendor. Always buy something that you can learn from and that you can buy and resell. And what I did, the show was a flop, but I bought a dozen t-shirts from him. So anytime I went somewhere, I always buy something that I can resell and make money. Okay. Let's see. Y'all doing good. Y'all still with me tonight. Gosh. How does that happen? Okay, here we go. We're gonna go to the top and come back down. Okay, Victoria is saying hello. Tracy Davis said, I need this. You know that when this is from the top, when I was talking about the banking stuff, I need this. Blessings from South Carolina. Thank you, blessings. Miss Miriam, she's always on time. Miss Miriam, Miss Miriam must have me on like how the clock come when you said Evelyn gonna be on in a few minutes. I always come around 8:30-ish because we closing the store at the same time. I am working on some new employees. So I'm working on how we can get some better help, consistent help. Let's see here. Miss Mary Jones. I'm gonna have to get Miss Mary to say some voiceovers for me. You know what, Miss? I always say I haven't spoken to everybody. A lot of you are talking to me, but if you call me, I will call you back. But I'm serious, Miss Mary. You should probably do some voiceovers for a local radio station. And you can get people, you can sell everything. Miss Mary Jones, what was she? I asked her what she said, and she says, I say everything. But she got this saying that she says, your room should speak to you. Miss Mary, I know you're laughing at me, but let me tell you something. When you see that and hear that, you feel like, ooh, is my room speaking to me? Like if you go home and you feel and you smell a certain smell and you just feel good. I really think you could do voiceovers. I'm gonna say that because if you guys ever need some help and you want to leave a voice on your machine or something, I think Miss Mary would be the one to get them to buy. She'll have them like this right at your hand to buy from you. Okay, Indigo Silk. Do you make things with indigo? I just love indigo. Indigo Silk. She says, hello, all. She gave us now she's my cheerleader. She said, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Miss Soul Pearls Creations saying, give you the chat. Constance is here tonight. All right, Miss Constance. She's quiet. She's here tonight. How you doing, Miss Constance? Hope you're doing better. Constance is the one that we prayed for last week. Oh, I'm praying that she's feeling better tonight. Okay, Miss Mary was talking about securing your income. Miss Bernice says, good evening, good teach coach. Now, Miss Bernice, she's the one in Atlanta, Georgia. She's as far as I know, Miss Bernice is holding up Atlanta by herself. She's the only ATL person. I think she's the only Georgia person I have right now that's speaking. I know y'all watching because there's too many of y'all out there. We only got 50-some states now. Come on now. But what I like about Miss Bernice is she says, I'm not quitting. I'm not giving up. Now, and also what I like about Miss Bernice is busy like I am. I am so busy. I'm busy. And I find time to make millionaires. I find time to make millionaires that's on this channel. But what I like about Miss Bernice is the fact that she does a lot of alterations and she still when you're busy, you making constant income. Even when you're doing that constant income, you need to be making more money. Like, although my stores are making their rents and they're paying their salaries and they're paying insurance and they're paying that, I do other things to make sure I make the money I need to have a comfort level, because money has to rotate. If money is not rotating, you lose it. And when you lose it, you come back and you got to make it up. And the fees and the overdraws and the price raising things that's driving you nuts. So you have to keep other forms of income. You see how you got 10 fingers? You got 10 forms of income coming in. That's how you got to look at it. I got dresses. I got this. I got that. I told a girl here lost a job. I said, what you doing? She said, I'm cleaning houses. She said, I'm cleaning houses. I said, okay, that's good. Miss Helen, I clean the house every day. I got a running around kid. Once they get out of daycare, I got to go clean the house. So she's making extra income. Okay. You got to have some security. Miss Liz, everyone got my Miss Liz said, Evelyn, don't you let me come into Juneteenth without a June t-shirt. So she's saying, I got my t-shirt. That's what she's saying. I got my t-shirt. Okay. I'm glad you got that shirt because tomorrow is a holiday. Okay. It looks like we got everybody here. It looks like, let me make sure because I don't want you to ask. I don't want to miss. I don't want to miss a person. I want to make sure I want to make sure that if you left me a question that I would answer your question. Hold on, let's see what we got here. The last person looks like Liz. And excuse me for my slowness here. I just want to make sure if you spent the time to ask me a question that I can. Look like we got it all. Okay. Okay, this is Indigo Silk. I like this. Indigo Silk says, stop being perfect and make the money. Say that again, Indigo. Indigo Silk says, stop being perfect and make the money because, listen, they wearing jeans with holes in them. They wearing jeans where they getting razor blades and they splitting it up. And everybody got a different one. Some of them got the whole leg out in the middle. Nobody complaining. So stop being perfect. Lumen Laser. What are you making, Miss Loom? Now, Loom and Laser is my only one else in Florida that I know of. So Lumen Laser, thank you for hanging in there with us. She's one of our first subscribers. I know she makes all this beautiful stuff, but I want to know, what are you making lately? Okay. Okay, this is Mary. She said, I can bake pound cakes, cookies, cinnamon rolls, yeast rolls. Now, you know what? Why are you not selling those pound cakes with those pillows, Miriam? Why are you not selling those pound? Don't you need to get, you know what? Fathers love cakes. I don't really know too many fathers that don't love sweets. So it's Father's Day on Sunday. If you make a cake, Miss Mildred's Desserts, I know you listen to me. If you make cakes, make some of the Father's Day cakes. Sell these cakes, sell these goodies because, I mean, you can make a cake the same time you sew and put the time on there and make that money. Okay. Okay, this is good. This is Lumen Laser. She said this to me, or to us, y'all. She says, I needed a push tonight. Loom and Laser shop needs inventory, but I haven't got all unpacked from our move. I'm setting up my weaving loom while I'm listening to you. And you know what? You set up a little bit at a time, and then you find something that you can sell quickly. I'm going to say this again. Loom and Laser is her name. She's in Florida, and she says that she's trying to find time to make some things, but she must have moved and she's unpacking. This is what you do. If you need to go and buy some product and you can only unpack the machine and you take time to set everything up, go buy something so you can make something happen quickly. Okay? It's like if you need to sell some hot dogs, but you like to make you might like to make a meatloaf. Let's say meatloaf. But it's quick to make a hot dog. It's quick to sell a hot dog, right? Don't reinvent the wheel. As you make that money, you buy yourself some time to unpack it and set everything up. I'm in a different station. I got so much stuff going on at my station that I normally sell to you all too. I can't, I don't even want you to see all that stuff because it's like you're going to say, what's really going on? You know what I mean? But what I'm saying is make time to make money quickly. Don't overthink it. If you got to go buy another machine, if you got to go do something to make some money, look, money is floating. Don't feel like because the prices are high, people ain't spending money. People are spending money all the time. They never gonna stop. You know why they're not gonna stop? Because the credit card companies are giving them more and higher rates to borrow from them. So they're going to buy what they want and they're going to pay back later. So why can't you get that money? You can get that money too. And as soon as you can, as soon as you possibly can, and you want to make some real money, pay for the coaching. So I can teach you how to get money from all over the world. I just sold something in Germany yesterday and they're ready to buy again. Germany. I just sold something for, I think it was $100. They paid $40 to get it. Okay. So you can get it. You can get money from everywhere. You can get money from there's nowhere. Look, people are waiting on you so they can find you, but they can't find you because you still in your neighborhood. They looking for you. They looking for you and they got their credit card on the shelf. On the shelf, meaning in the computer, ready to just say, where you want this money to go? Who you want to get your money today? And they're going to get it. It's like if I need fabric, if I need buttons, if I need zippers, hey, who got the zippers? Who got the buttons? I'm going to pay for it. Okay? So Lumna, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad if I push you to be hanging off the couch today, that's what I was here for. That's what I'm here for. Okay. Say, I'm waiting for the grace of God. Okay, this is Marion Masterpiece. I'm waiting for the grace of God. God is already there, Marion. You ain't got to wait on him. He's already there. He's already gracing. He's waiting on you. God is there. He got you. He got you and some. And the tip to go with it. Okay. It says, hi, all. I hear from Miss Evelyn. I'm going to do it. You keep nudging, and I keep pushing myself. That's what you got to do, Miss Linda Brown. You have got, that's Linda Brown. She says, and I'm here. I'm nudging you. Nudging is like, you know, when somebody say, buy one, get one free. That's a nudge. Or $10. That's a nudge. Or 10% off. That's a nudge. Or 50% off, that's a nudge. Or a $25 coupon if you spend $100, that's a nudge. Everybody uses nudges. Everyone uses. If you buying something and you fix and firm on that price, unless they gotta have it, they'll say, nah, wait. But if you got something that's inspiring and refreshing, and you give a nudge, okay, you got me. Lady coming, I got but $14. I saw them earrings, $14. When she left, she spent $200. Oh, you get 2 buy 1 free? Okay. Oh, a t-shirt too small? Can you put some side pieces in it? Oh, yes, I can. Oh, can you go now? Can you make me some pants to go with that? Yes. Okay, can you go get me a jacket with that? Yes. Come back tomorrow. You got it. That's a nudge. Okay. This is Indigo Silk. Always have more inventory than money. My mantra for the rest of the June. Thank you. Yes. Always, always, always. If you have a house and you have a basement and you have some inventory, you have a sewing machine, and you can pack that inventory in boxes and shelves, and you can start saying, I got this, this, and this. Have more inventory in your house than your house is worth. No, she didn't. Oh, yes, I did. Have more inventory than your house is worth. Sell it, buy you another house. Sell it again, rent you a house. Sell it again, buy you some land. Sell it again, go to the land bank. Have more inventory than where you live. If you live in an apartment and you're paying $2,000 a month, and that's $24,000 a year, then have more inventory than $24,000. Think about it like this. If everybody you see in the store went in the store and they got the carts and they bought something out the store, say it's a food store, say it's a clothing store, and you see it packed, there's still so much inventory left in that store. The only reason they have a lot of inventory is because the more inventory you have, the more people spend. If you got one car on the lot, everybody gonna pass you by. If you got 50 cars on the lot, you might get 2 people. If you got 500 cars on the lot or 1,000 cars on the lot, you're going to sell a lot of cars. People like inventory. They like to see, they like choices. They like to know you put some skin in it. They like to know you went to work for their money. If you sitting back there on scared faith and say, oh, God gonna send me something. No, he ain't saying, he said faith without work is dead. So you're gonna have the faith, you better work. You got to get prepared. Okay. My employee said, oh, my little ribbon broke. Here's some thread. Use it with that thread. Fix it. Handle it. Don't stop the train. Keep it going. Okay? Because the train got to have wood. Train got to have oil. They got to have water. Choo, choo. That's your money. Ching, 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 ching. If you don't have no inventory, that means you ain't trying to get paid. If you go with a table and your table is full and underneath your table, you don't have your crates full to restock, that means you didn't go to get paid. I was working in Indiana one time at the Black Expo. It was so loud, I had a headache, right? I had a guy came by. He loved my stuff so much. He said, I don't want you at this show. I said, what you mean? He said, I'm going to buy you out. I had 4 racks full of clothes, 4 garment bags like body bags. The man brought everything, including the racks, gave me 1 rack. Say, your stuff, ain't nobody steal stuff like this. I love the show, but I didn't go back because it was so loud. I got paid, I think I had maybe $12,000 worth of stuff. He bought everything. I gave him the racks. He needed a rack. But what if I'd have went there with a few items? Now, my prices was a lot less than they are now because $12,000 is not a lot of money when you go do a show and you're a designer. But back then in the day, man, tops $50, $40, $25. That was a lot of money. Okay. So what I'm saying is if you got the inventory, you can make the money. If you don't have the inventory, you just said, do I want to do this? Will they like my stuff? No, go in there and say they're gonna buy my stuff. They're gonna buy your stuff, my stuff, your stuff, everybody. Okay, so Pearl Creations, you are always a big help and inspiring. Yes, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because when I was in Chicago, I was the only Black wholesaler, and everybody in there was Chinese. I have a lot of Chinese friends, right? Everybody was Chinese, and the Chinese people said, "Where's your inventory?" And I'm thinking, I had like 15 bags of stuff. But they had trucks. They were little Chinese ladies. I'm actually 5'2", everybody. I'm not as tall as I sound. I'm 5'2". I know that's funny. I know that's funny, Miss Ellen. Okay, I'm 5'2". These Chinese women were shorter than me. They were driving them big box trucks back in the day, 35 years ago. And they had inventory and they had the little man trucks and they brought it down. They came to get paid. They came. I don't think any of them had less than $100,000 worth of inventory. And they said, you're not going to make any money. You didn't bring enough. I'm like, what you mean? I got all this stuff. They said, nobody can buy it. You're not going to make enough. You need to buy more. That's how they talk, more. So when I saw that, I was inspired. And when I see that we don't know and we don't share what we know, we put blocks on other people's growth. I said, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. When I eat, everybody done ate. Okay? Meaning I don't have children. I do have 2 dogs. They have to eat. But when I eat, everybody eat. So when I eat, I'm going to feed you all. When I see what's trending, I'm going to feed you. When I see that you're dreaming and you're not acting, when somebody try to show me something, I see a negative balance on their account. Oh, no, not on my account. Oh, no, I'm going to pull you up. We ain't finna do that no more. We done been down that road before. That happened when you in divorce, a child done got your card or whatever. But no, not today, not on this channel. There is more than enough money, more than enough credit. Your name on some credit cards. I see you with $50,000 worth of credit with no problem. I see you making money. I see you making strides. I see Miss Lumina packing that bag. And if she can't pack that bag fast enough, go buy you another machine, buy your product, get somebody to help unpack, keep that money going. Because you know what? An airplane comes down to decompress, clean, get refueled, lubricated, and it's back up in the air in a few hours. Sometimes it come down, it's only down for maybe an hour. This is a stop now. This is a stop, everybody. We're gonna let some off, we're gonna put some back on, we're gonna go. If you don't run your business and your life like that, not saying you shouldn't take a vacation or have a timeout sometime, you will be left in the dust. You got to get it going. You got to have money. You got to be making money when you ain't even looking. And all you got to do is set the traps for yourself. The traps to succeed, not the traps to fail. Somebody hurt my feelings. And you know what I told the lady who said my 2 stitches was crooked? I said, you know, you really hurt my. I said, I took that personal. I told her, I said, I took that personal because AI tried to tell you what to say, right? I said, I took that personal. And the reason I told her that is because when you buy something from a handmade shop, you don't look for perfection. You look for artistry. You look for something that you can't find anywhere. And if you want perfection, go to TikTok, go to Amazon, go to Cookie Cutter, because if you was this size, that's what they're going to tell you. And if you lie, that's your problem. Okay? It's supposed to be a small, but it's an extra, extra, extra small. It's supposed to be a large, but it's a small. It's supposed to be a 3X, but it's a medium. Okay, so they trying to figure it out. Once they figure it out, they're gonna keep taking your money, but everybody gonna look the same. But when you make the gift that God gave you, you ain't worried about a thing. All you gotta do is go to work and you're gonna get it. Okay, I am looking forward to coming. Okay, that sounds like we got everybody. I'm gonna go to the last one. Okay, this is we're gonna end up with Mildred's. Yes, children need to learn how to work and not be late. Now, Miss Mildred tell it like it is. That's how my Miss Mildred say, yes, children need to work and learn how not to be lazy. I'm teaching my grandchildren to work with their hands and to have a side job. You know what? Miss Mildred is a great baker. Her company name is Mildred Desserts. So they side job can be cooking. They side job can be sewing. They side job can do anything. But you know what? I'm gonna tell you how to help people with a side job. If you got children that are looking for a job, right? Find a job that doesn't depend on the weather to be great. Find a job. Teach your children how to do a job. Like if it's raining, you can't cut grass. If it's raining, you can't put on a roof. If it's raining, you can't go skateboarding. Can't teach basketball. All right. But if you can find a job that you could do that may require electricity or may just require you using your hands, that's a secure job. Think about it. If you have to have a job where all the circumstances are great, then that job can be stagnated if you really need money. But if you have a job where you can continue to make inventory without electricity, like if you're doing handwork, you're doing crocheting, you painting, you know what I'm saying? Or are you cutting? You can be cutting and prepping your items. Whatever you can do that you don't depend on that does not really depend on the weather, that's a good side hustle. And you can do it independently. You don't need help with it. Have your children to learn that. Okay. And if you got to go with electricity, baking cakes, sewing, doing all type of things, computer programs, whatever, then that's something else. But if you can teach them how to make a job without having to be perfect weather outside, then that's that not that they shouldn't do it, but find an alternative to that as well. Okay, I think I broke a record tonight, everybody. I am so glad to be with you, and I hope that you find a blessing into your gift tomorrow and get some deposits in the bank. Tomorrow is a holiday. So people are going to want to spend because it's the weekend. It's celebration time for Juneteenth, but it is a national holiday. The banks are closed tomorrow, everybody. The mail is closed. Okay. So tomorrow, people are going to be festive. You can be making money. You can be making product, and you can be making progress. That is my wish for you. Happy Juneteenth for those who don't know it. Juneteenth is tomorrow, June 19th, the end of slavery. And I'm going to wrap it up. I love you all so much. I wish I could show you. That's my heart beating for you. Good night. Look at the picture tomorrow because they say if you can dream it, don't fear it. If you can dream it, do not fear it. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.